The number is 512-938-8426. Anybody that would like to have this conversation with me, preferably because I always like to hear guys' points of view about this. If I could get a guy to call in, that would be fantastic. The phone lines are open if anyone feels inclined to. I think it would be fantastic. So do I have any takers? Anybody want to call in? Anyone at all? I've been told that I scare men somehow. I don't know why. I'm a 110-pound girl. I guess I'm like the attack squirrel. But anyone can dial in and weigh in on this conversation with me in regards to the value system of people and how we assign value. So I don't have any callers right now, so I'm just going to move on forward with what we were talking about before. And I think I left off in the area about cohabitating and those types of things. So living together before you've decided what you think you really want to do in your relationship can be a slippery slope, because then you start adding in other factors that can cloud your judgment. Okay? Being with somebody by default, they're the last person that's available. They're the only person that will respond to me. Those relationships are ones that I call Band-Aid relationships that can end up being and doing more damage than good. Okay? And I'm going to tell you why. Think about if you were doing a contest and you knew it was rigged. You knew it. And it was rigged in your favor, which sounds like it may be cool for a second, but then whenever you're really looking at it, you're like, this wasn't really based off of my talent. It's not as valuable to you then. You see what I'm saying? So I feel like knowing and understanding exactly where you're wanting to go, who you're wanting to go with, and why will be the greatest gift that you could give to yourself. Now, another question that I have, and I asked myself this, have any of you ever stayed in a relationship way, way, way longer than you knew you should have? And if you did, why did you stay? And why do you think other people stay? Is it a comfort? Is it wanting a return on your investment? What was your investment? Could you make it back? And did it disturb your resale value? And yes, just like cars, I say it jokingly, but I talk about resale value all the time. You know what I mean? If you're that person that's got a bad reputation, that's been with this person, this person, this person, your resale value may not be that great. And it also depends on who the audience is. Is the audience easily swayed? Half the stuff that can make your resale value go down may not even be true. What does your authentic self look like? And I'm not talking about the difference between wearing makeup or not. And I hate when people do that sometimes. You know what I mean? This happens with women, I feel like, a lot, where we're saying, I'm my authentic self. And there's always that one guy that wants to troll that says, really? Because you got Botox and you got the fake boobs and blah, blah, blah. That's just decorative stuff. That has nothing to do with what's going on in your mind up here. But that's just my opinion there. So right now, let's see here. Where are we? We are at 8:21, so we're almost to the halfway mark. For those of you that are not following me on Facebook, I do want you guys to make sure that you go to Spotify, clearsourceradio.com, iHeartRadio as well, and that's where you can catch the show. If you are interested, you can also visit SheenaSimmons.com. That is what would allow you to book a discovery call with me so we can see if I could work with you, if we would be compatible. and without me turning off my microphone on accident. It's been a day, guys. It's absolutely been a day, but it's been fantastic. And if there's anything that you guys know that you want to talk about, I truly encourage you guys to go to my Facebook page, Coach Sheena Simmons, and leave me a message, drop me a note, because there's so many different things that are great topics that need to be exposed and talked about. It's very important. It's very important to me. Back to our values of a person and why. Platonic and romantic relationships, in my mind, should be run exactly the same, okay? Except for in one, you're sleeping together, and in the other one, you're not, okay? It's gotten to be a habit of people to forget about all of those things that make you really, really, really fall for a person. It's almost like we've forgotten how to do that. And I could see how we could really feel super disconnected because of COVID. I don't know about you, but COVID has really taught me how to get super in touch with me. And it has increased my awareness of what my values in a person are and how I can show up better for my person and appreciate them. So, you know me, I like to reference experiences, personal ones. So my poor significant other, he's going to be like, oh my gosh, she's telling our business again. But I always just like to share examples and talk about things that I know about. So whenever I was presented with the opportunity to turn a platonic relationship into a romantic one, i.e. being introduced to my significant other that I have now, I was very apprehensive about engaging in any type of relationship at all because I had experienced a lot of trauma from the previous relationship. Now, I remember having a conversation with him and letting him know that it was very important for him not to take stock in a past relationship information that I'd given him and look at that as, you know, if there's everything that happens with us, that he's going to be punished for what happened in a previous relationship. And I love the fact that we were able to communicate and really work with each other in real time in regards to that and around that. Because guys and girls, your partner, their life experiences prior to you is what helped build who they are as a person, okay? And so most of the time, we will take our education and our lessons that we learned for something previous and bring it into our current relationship. Whenever I was introduced to him, I looked at a lot of things before, you know, I decided that it was safe for me to relax and truly engage in the relationship. And so these are some of the little comments plus tidbits that are very helpful. I always look at, whenever I first meet someone that wants to be romantically involved with me, I look at, were they married before or not? Okay? Do they have children or not? How open are they to falling in love again or not? So I'm going to stop right there. Those are very important questions that so many people are afraid to ask, and I don't know why. Actually, I lied. I do know why. People don't enjoy being vulnerable. And I understand, because that leaves you open for things to happen that don't feel good. But it also leaves a great opportunity to grow a truly loving, strong-based, authentic relationship that you will appreciate. You get what I'm saying? So when you first meet someone, I think it's extremely important, especially if they have been married before. Ask that person, do they still believe in love? do they still think it's possible? And is that something that they would want? People don't ask that because they don't want to look like weirdos. But I think as a dating coach, it's super important because you could be sitting across from someone that looks like the catalog of everything you would want. Like, seriously, like God came down in an Escalade and a clipboard and said, I need you to write out all the things that you want in your ideal person and send it to me. And boom, there he is sitting across from you at the table. Except for one thing. He doesn't believe in love or monogamy. Bum, bum, bum. That was not the case with me. One, I would have been upset. And two, I would have got up and click-clacked them heels out of that restaurant. But knowing where this person's at as far as what they would be open to and the progression in your relationship, you guys got to ask these questions. Because if this person is saying, nah, I don't really want anything like that, don't waste their time. Leave. It's not a bad thing. That doesn't mean that they're a bad person. But what you're going to do is find yourself being in this subconscious competition mode of, I'm going to conquer this mountain. This mountain does not want to be conquered. Okay? It doesn't. So do yourself, do the other person a favor, and ask those type of questions. So we covered their ability and capacity and want for love. Is this person a serial dater? Like every time you turn around, they are in a relationship, breaking up, in a relationship, breaking up, in a relationship, breaking up. Those are important things to look at. Because for some people, relationships are just sport. That is the value that they have in it. It gives them an ego boost. It's an excuse to buy another outfit. That's the value. Those are the things that are valuable to them. So it's important that you know that. And if it's not valuable to you, then you know that it's okay to not entertain it any further. How willing are they to have intellectual conversations where they're actually listening versus listening to respond? Now, I'm going to say this because I know from experience, for my ladies out there, girls, it's really kind of easy to tell whenever a guy is impressed with or it's valuable for him to know that the person that he's with has brain cells that she uses on a consistent basis. I'm going to give you some indicators on that and how you can tell. Number one, you're having a conversation with this guy and you're being very intellectual. You're hitting the points, being very articulate, all these things. It's not a confrontational thing, which I hate when guys say that. You're being confrontational whenever you're just having an educated conversation. But anyway, I digress. But anyway, you're talking about something, current events, whichever, and you've got your educated points, nothing crazy, and he starts trying to shut you down or mute you. And ladies, I know you've experienced it. And maybe guys, you have too. It just depends. But it's never a good sign whenever you have someone, whenever you are having an educated conversation that you would have with any friend or an associate or a work partner or whoever. If you see them and you're talking and all of a sudden they're just kind of, muting you and trying to shut you down, that is somebody that does not want someone that is going to operate at their level, and their confidence level is better suited for someone that is more of a submissive. Now, when we start talking about submissives, masculine versus feminine, attachment styles, that's a whole different ball of wax, and that'll be another episode that's pretty interesting in regards to how people see or take you. I have gotten the label sometimes of being aggressive or masculine. And I know where that comes from. But if you see me, it's actually kind of funny. It's like I'm 5'5" and 110 pounds. I really don't know. I guess I'm the New Age teacup Yorkie. I'm not sure. But I've been told that I am aggressive